Hey guys, so Lord here, back again with another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Origins Turtles of Greyskull Target exclusive. Oh, jeez, Two-Bop-Steady! And the reward for most fucking stupid name for an action figure to come out in the calendar year 2024 goes to, you haven't guessed it, it's this guy right here. That said, this of course is brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel, as well as my good buddy Evil Villain. Click the link in the description below. Give him a follow on the old Instagram, but as always, don't be a jerk-a-fassa, or I will find you and you will not like the consequences, I assure you. That said, I'm gonna be honest with you, on paper, this seems fucking ingenious. Like, too bad is two guys merged together that hate each other. Two-Bop-Steady, again, really fucking stupid name, is two guys merged together that hate each other. This should be a match made in heaven, or in this case, hell, or a news canister. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think a couple things got lost in translation, so we're going to talk about it. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look, see at all Two-Bop's got to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with this piece of cardboard with the little pamphlet, in case you're a simpleton and don't know how figures go together. And as far as weaponry goes, he's got this cool looking sword, which I'm not gonna lie, that'd look good with Demo Man. It's this crazy kind of Chungus cleaver blade thing, which I don't remember any of them having in any Ninja Turtles lore ever. I know the 2012 Rocksteady had a hammer and a sickle. Would have been nice to see those, maybe. And then we also get the stupid-ass Krang mace ball thing, which I'm not a fan of because you really got to heat the wrists to plug this thing in so it doesn't break. Yeah, that's going in a bag. That said, this blade thing, there is a spot on the back for it. If you just sheath it back here, will fit in there nice and snug, and you don't gotta worry about it. So that's probably what I'm gonna do with mine. That said, where the hell is his gun? Or their guns? It would have been nice instead of this thing again. We got two blaster pistols, one of them with a little drill bit on it, and one of them with a little, gun barrel on it. That would have been so cool. But instead we got this. Astonishing. And as far as the body goes, they used the Too Bad from the cartoon collection that was a Comic-Con exclusive for the upper body. Obviously there's a bunch of extra shit slapped on it to make it look different, but we all know it's a bunch of extra shit slapped over it to make it look different, like this pauldron, the vest, the harness, the pants, this little thigh pad here, these knee pads. I even think the lower legs are different, but the boots are the same, the arms are the same, and the torso, the base torso is the same. I think it's too small. Bebop and Rocksteady, I have the NECA 1980s cartoon versions. They're pretty bulky. They're not like giants, but they're bulkier. They're more hunched over. And I just think this guy lacks that Bebop and Rocksteady aesthetic. He's just not bulky enough. He's not hunched at all. It just doesn't look right. I don't believe this is what they'd look like when they'd fuse together, in other words. Granted, I know they're using Masters of the Universe Origins parts, and they're restricted with that, but, you could have done something different. I think even giving him the big yoked-out arms from Krang and who else uses them, Slacker and whatnot, would have made a difference. I think that would have looked a little bit better, especially since the torso is so wide, especially given the fact it's got all this shit slapped on it to make it look different. So, as far as articulation goes, both the heads are on double ball pegs. They are nice and tight for the most part. They'll have some spots of looseness, but they are not floppy-doppy, so that's cool. You can spread them out enough to where they're not bumping into each other either, so that's also nice. Shoulders will go out to the side. This one's obviously going to be restricted, but they will rotate back and forth. He does have a single jointed elbow with rotation. He's got a swivel in the wrist with a hinge. He's got a waist twist. It works okay. Hips will kick forward and back. They will pop out if you are manhandling it, but I haven't had that problem with mine. Or the one I have to send to Evil Villain because he actually ordered these and had them shipped to my house via the Target app, so I gotta send him his. But both the ones I've messed with, both mine and his, did not have any problems with the legs popping off, so I don't know what's going on there. I think maybe people need to stop dicking around with toys. That said, he does have a knee swivel with a single bend there. Pretty good range, actually. He's getting 90 degrees out of that. He's got a boot swivel, and he's got a hinge in the foot with a rocker. Business as usual for Origins. There's nothing really new going on here. It's standard Origins fare. I will say the ankles are a little loose for my liking, but he does not really have the hardest time standing. Once you get him standing, he will stand just fine. Even then, you could probably tilt the boots out a little bit. And there. He stands just fine. You just got to tilt the boots out a little bit. That way that weight isn't being pushed down on the hinge. It's being pushed on the rocker, which is nice and tight on both sides. So that is Two-Bop-Steady. Not the greatest release from this line. I had higher hopes for this because along with Metal Bado, who we will be taking a look at tomorrow, because of course we will. We finished him after all. Don't believe me. Here he is. Hello, I'm Metal Bado. I have a secret. Secret. My accessories are shit. But much like Metal Bado, this was one of the ones I kind of predicted for this line because it makes sense. You know, Bebop and Rocksteady hating each other, merging together like Too Bad. It just makes sense. Just like Metal Bado or Metalhead and Roboto. So, you know, for them to come out being just kind of, you know, whatever, it does kind of suck, you know? But at any rate, enough Debbie Downing and all that bad noise. Why don't we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Two-Bop-Steady alongside the previous Turtles of Greyskull figures we looked at on the channel quite a while ago now, if I'm not mistaken, early November, right? But we have the April O'Neil as the Sorceresses and the Hordak from the quote-unquote most recent wave of Turtles of Greyskull figures, at least for me anyways. I know the wave with the whole Snake Men shtick is probably starting to hit by now as of the time this video is being posted, but, you know, I'm a little burnout on Snake Men. If you watched my Reptilex and Vipor reviews, you may know a little bit of something about that. But either way, I wanted to give you guys a look at how the cartoon collection body, which is what Two-Bop-Steady utilizes for the most part, stacks up against a standard Origins release. Because truth be told, while I used to compare the cartoon collection figures to their vintage style counterparts in Origins, I don't think I've actually done a straight up side-by-side comparison, so there you go, and there they is. As you can see, not much taller really, so again, I do feel like Two-Bop-Steady is a little bit on the small side, especially compared to that Hordak. I mean, he looks like he's bigger than Two-Bop-Steady, and it's not just because of the wings either. So getting him out of here, getting both of them out of here, because we need to make space for our two regulars, the Mythic Legions Brother Mandibilith and the infamous 11 Spawn, who, as usual, towers over everyone because he is not a 5.5-inch scale figure. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and while I do still believe that good old Two-Bop-Steady here is, on paper, a really good concept, despite his absolutely ridiculous name, I think a lot was, at the end of the day, lost in translation. On top of the fact that I think he's too small. He's definitely not bulky enough. I think the bulkier arms from Krang, Slacker, Mutant He-Man, Mutant Merman, amongst others, I'm sure, would have definitely helped this guy's aesthetic a little bit. But I also think that As far as accessories go, he is extremely lacking as far as anything that really fits this character. I mean, we got the stupid Krang mace thing again, which you guys know I personally am not a fan of, mostly because it feels like you're going to break the thing every time you swap it in place of one of the hands. But we didn't get any guns with this character, and if there's one thing Bebop and Rocksteady are known for is their specific guns. Rocksteady having a machine gun, and Bebop having the drill gun. And while we got the drill bit for Metal Bato, that doesn't cut it for this guy anyways. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.